PowerShell, you can create a true 2D array by using the .NET object. So here we are creating a .NET array. The syntax of it in C# would be like this. So you declare your variable here, matrix, as an integer or type array, and then you say new int and then specify how many rows and columns that you want. And you can use that in PowerShell like this with the new object syntax. So new object lets you create .NET objects, and you supply it that you want to create an integer, new integer array, and then you specify the requirements like this. Notice the difference in syntax. This is something that you just need to get used to. The reason for supplying these in single quotes is because it contains square brackets. Otherwise, it will cause an error if you don't do this. So you just need to supply it in single quotes, and then you will get a true 2D array. And what I mean by true 2D array is in PowerShell, you can create arrays of arrays. So this is an array. This is known as a jagged array. So you can see within here, we can have a second array, but the elements can be jagged. So what I mean is, for example, you could delete this, and this would have 3 elements while the others here have the 4 elements. So by creating a true 2D array, you get the same number of columns, same number of rows, while with this syntax, you can actually have a jagged array, which is of different lengths for elements. So here, the second row actually only contains 3 columns, but with a true 2D array, you cannot do that. It has to be the same length. And then you can access the elements like this, whereas previously you access the elements like this. Notice the 2 square brackets here. And here we're just using a single square bracket, and we're using comma to separate the row and the column. So it matches the C# syntax essentially. So here we're assigning the values to this array, and you can see when we output the values here, we can see that the output is 1, and we can see that over here because that's what we assigned at position 0, 0. Alternative syntax that you can use is by directly using the .NET type, but you don't have to use the new object. So here you can create a .NET object like this. So again, you can see very similar syntax. We're using the .NET integer class, and we're creating a new array of that integer class with 2 rows and 3 columns. These columns here are basically accessing the static initializer of the integer class, and we're creating an array out of it. So here you can again access the same thing. So the concept of accessing the elements stays the same. And again, if I run this, and you can see that we get the same output as before. So 2 different variations in syntax, either using the object directly like this, or you can use it like this. This is only compatible in newer versions of PowerShell. So that's, I think, from 5.2 onwards, and this is accessible in the older versions of PowerShell. So this is how you create a true 2D array in PowerShell using .NET, while here we are creating a jagged array, which is also known as arrays of array. So here, this is a nested array, and they can be jagged because they can have different lengths, while here, a true 2D array will have the same number of columns and rows.